AITA for letting my mom rub whiskey on my baby's gums? I, 28F, am a first-time mom. My husband and I have a 6-month-old baby who is teething horribly. I was at my mother's home a few days ago and was speaking to her about the teething issues. My mom does some old-fashioned things and she's really into herbs and natural healing and such. So she wanted to try rubbing whiskey on my daughter's gums. She said she did it to me and all 3 of my siblings. I let her, and it did seem to calm my daughter down a bit. When I got home I told my husband about this, and he was furious. He said that's harmful to our daughter and it does not relieve any pain. He got really upset and said I shouldn't have let my mom do something like that, and told me I couldn't bring our daughter to my mother's anymore. He's since called the next 2 days off of work, and is super paranoid watching me every second with our daughter. I feel this is unfair. Gently YTA. You're 28 and a mom. You need to make your own judgments. Not just listen to your mom without question. And in this case your judgment was to let your mom give your infant alcohol. Does that sound trustworthy to you? NTA. You made a bad judgment call here. And a lot of people are going to come charging in on their high horses to tell you what a horrible mother you are, like they've never messed up before. Don't worry about them. You're a first-time mom. So you're naturally gonna listen to your own mother when she tries to give you advice. It's natural to look to our elders for guidance and to trust them. While many mothers, including my own, have used this method, we know a lot more about these older, tried and true, remedies these days. Most of them never worked how they were intended to, if at all. If you wanted something more natural, there are plenty of herbs that you could talk to your daughter's doctor about. If you just let your daughter's doctor know that you want something along those lines, they should be able to point you in the right direction. You're not some monster that's going to harm your child. Honestly, if this is how your husband is reacting, that's a red flag. He's right. It doesn't relieve pain. And if you were to start doing it regularly, yeah, it can be harmful. However, it was a one-time thing that you told him about, and now you know not to do it again. He shouldn't be acting like it was a conspiracy to intentionally hurt your daughter. The best course of action is to be mature adults about this and have some open communication among the 3 of you, him, and your mother. Your mother needs to understand that this is a new boundary. He needs to understand that parents make mistakes, and it doesn't do anyone any good to become extreme in such a way. You need to understand to look into things before applying them to your child so that this, or something worse, doesn't happen to your child. I hope this situation is handled well and that all of you can find yourself in a better situation of clearer understanding and progress. Dang. Soft YTA. You're going to get all kinds of opinions on whether the alcohol was a good or bad choice. But I actually don't think it matters either way. Your husband was uncomfortable with a parenting choice you made. Something like this should have been discussed with the other parent before you decided to try it. He has a right to be upset, but it seems like he might be taking it a little too far. One of 2 things is happening here. Either your husband is completely overreacting and trying to hurt you by acting as if you are unfit, or this is something that has happened before where you co-parent with your mom and make decisions without him. Either way, I would say talk to your husband and make decisions with him about your child. And be wary of old-fashioned baby things. Modern research tells us so much. Every parent can make their own choices, but make them with your child's other parent, not your mom. Hello, MD here. A drop of whiskey on someone's finger is not enough to do any kind of harm, not have any sedative effect. I'm not sure about a topical effect, so I'll refrain from judging that. I'd have to look into some studies. NTA. You made a judgment call and trusted your mother. NTA. Though that would change if you continued to do this. Probably not the wisest move. But overall I don't think this will hurt your baby. People have done this for centuries. And babies manage to survive. It's one of those things that is discouraged. Now, though, your husband has a right to request that no one rub whiskey on his baby's gums. Though it is significantly overstepping to forbid you from visiting your own mother. It's also not really fair if you are a first-time parent left alone all day that he is expecting you to somehow magically know how to handle every situation. Go purchase some actual stuff for teething. Or talk to your doctor. While you should have had better judgment, I think folks need to put down their pitchforks on this one. NTA for turning to your mom and letting her try something that her generation and ones before did. Specific to your husband, I get being upset, but taking time off work to watch you? Unless you've had severe lapses in judgment before this, I don't see why he's reacting this way. If you have continual severe judgment lapses or continue to use Jack as mommy's little helper, then you'd be the AH. As I recall, rubbing alcohol on a baby's gums when teething was somewhat normal in the 1950s and 1960s. And maybe even after that. Worked like a charm, I'm told. I assumed it had a numbing effect, but apparently it actually gets the kid slightly inebriated so they don't notice the pain. Luckily, along came AmITheAsshole and no more need to get the kid buzzed. Anyway, I'd say NTA. You assumed your mother had some clue about what she was doing. She had used that technique on you and you, presumably, are no worse for the experience and it is unlikely to have caused any permanent damage. Probably should try some other non-alcoholic remedy in the future though. Personally, I wouldn't do this with my daughter, who is 3 months old and has already started teething. My daughter has teething toys that go in the fridge, and once cooled, she can use them to chew on. Sure, when we were kids, our parents did use alcohol as that was the norm. But it really isn't safe. My health visitor, I'm UK based, has even advised against using any types of gels, just Calpol and toys. Did your husband react in the best way? Probably not. Was your mom trying to help after hearing the struggles you and baby are going through and did her best to help? Yes. Did it work? Yes. Best thing to do? Take this as a learning experience and move on, maybe not do the whole alcohol thing again. If he continues to act like a helicopter parent, call him out on it and leave the teething baby with him for the day and give yourself a rest. Taking care of a baby is goddamn hard. Maybe this will give him some perspective that you were trying your best and needed that quick fix. For that reason, NTA. YTA. Yeah, I mean, you know alcohol is unsafe. It also happens not to work as a topical analgesic. If the baby quietens down, it's because of the general sedative effect of alcohol. I think it's hilarious how your mother conflates the use of a well-understood but completely inappropriate drug with herbs and natural healing. Gentle YTA. You're 28. You have your own child and you are responsible for their well-being. A quick Google search would have told you this probably wasn't the best idea. I understand your husband completely and you should respect the boundary he has set until he feels comfortable again. My dad told me that way back in the day in Iran when he was young they used to do the same with babies and just a little bit of opium. Speaking as a Gen X person, everyone here flipping out needs to chill. I'm not saying this is great practice, but for goodness sake, it used to be done all the time by lots of people, including my mother. Your baby will be fine. Deep breaths. NTA. I guess I'd say esh. Letting your mom put whiskey on your baby's gums was dumb. Your husband is also severely overreacting. The amount of alcohol your baby was exposed to was minimal. It's not going to have any lasting impact. And it's ridiculous to act like neither you nor your mother can ever be along with the baby again. Newsflash. Parents make mistakes. Your husband will make one too. You should be educating yourselves and being careful, but also learning to deal kindly with the mishaps they come up. Oh wow. Talk about an overreaction on your husband's part. He banned your child from your mom's house and took 2 days off work to supervise you with your own child. Again. Wow. The whiskey on the gums thing is a questionable practice and shouldn't be done. But it's not like trying it once will cause irreparable damage. You know now that it was ineffective and just not a good idea. In the course of raising this child, you will both make parenting mistakes. Plenty of them, I guarantee it. And you aren't the first parents to find that your own parents practiced techniques that have since proven to be bad ideas. The response shouldn't be to ban your parents from your child, but rather to update your parents on current practices. An NTA. But you and your husband definitely need to find a better way of dealing with the differences in parenting styles and choices that you will undoubtedly encounter over the next couple decades. AITA is probably the worst place to go with your parenting fears and questions. Whiskey wasn't the best choice, but you're NTA for trying it. Your baby will be fine if you don't make a habit of it. Find something else to manage teething pain. Work on communicating with your husband, who is for sure overreacting to the point that I'm wondering about PPD. Don't beat yourself up for not knowing what to do and trying some SHT your mom suggested. This is something my mill did for her 2 oldest kids back in the 60s. But alcohol is proven to be harmful for babies. She also dropped out of high school. There are non-alcoholic, over-the-counter pain rub for teething babies. YTA. Inta just a little naive. Your husband calling out for 2 days though? That's weird. NTA whether or not this remedy actually works. Which isn't the debate here. You tried to do the right thing for your baby and you trusted the advice of someone who you believe has both valid experience and your baby's best interests at heart. Your partner isn't handling this in a mature fashion. They can strongly disagree with you. But the thing is done. Now if you're the kind of person who isn't going to take their concerns seriously and you're still planning to do the offending thing, then your partner has bigger problems because you don't respect their boundaries. If however you've taken your partner's concerns to heart and you're working on finding an alternative solution together, then them taking extra time off work is an extreme reaction and quite controlling. At the end of the day, you're both going to make mistakes raising your baby. You didn't take the kid bar hopping. A couple of drops of whiskey isn't likely to have a lasting effect. Accepting and learning from mistakes will help you both grow as parents. NTA your husband can say, hey, don't do that again. Taking 2 weeks off BC of one harmless home remedy is a lot. NTA being wrong about something doesn't make you an asshole. Your response and whether you do it again is more important, at least when it comes to something so inconsequential. Husband, however, is going nuclear over something that should just have been a learning experience as new parents, and something to laugh about as a family in the future. These idiots in the comments have it real twisted if they think that your husband is doing the right thing here. You told him what you did, have apparently expressed regret about it, and now you describe him as being paranoid that you are actively trying to harm the baby. Does he imagine you are going to try and slip the baby whiskey again? And to deny Mill from seeing baby when she was giving genuine and well-meant, even if outdated, advice? Fucking bizarre, you people.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.